Newsday continues here on One News Now. I'm Riza Diaz. The Finance Department is urging the Bureau of Internal Revenue to collect the 203 billion pesos unpaid estate taxes from the Marcos family. Ryan Ang with the story.
At a time when the oil crisis has government scrambling for measures to provide relief for the country's poorest, the Finance Department is looking at one more solution: collect unpaid taxes from the Marcos family. That's 203 billion pesos worth in estate taxes. In a TV interview, Finance Assistant Secretary Paula Alvarez said that may go a long way in funding government subsidies. After all, Ferdinand Marcos Jr., also running for the presidency, seems to favor providing subsidies instead. Starting this month, government plans to give a monthly 200 peso payout for 1 year.
Continue to collect the excise tax, but provide an oil subsidy.
But when asked about their tax liabilities, Marcos Jr. says the matter is now mixed with fake news.
There's a lot of fake news involved there. Let's leave it to the lawyers to discuss it, because yung mga the so-called facts that they quote are not facts at all. They are just presumption.
Recall that the BIR has confirmed to Action Democratico that they demanded the Marcos family to pay their estate taxes back in December. Manila Mayor Isko Moreno of Action Democratico earlier challenged the Marcoses to settle their obligations.
Ibigay na natin itong 200 billion na ito nang mapakinabangan ng tao. Kasi total, paglilingkod rin lang naman ang pinag-uusapan natin. Ito magandang paglilingkod. Di ba? At saka ito maganda, due. Due na to eh. Sisingilin natin ng buwis ang lahat ng tao na hindi nagbabayad ng buwis.
A Supreme Court decision in 1997 ruled that Marcos heirs, including Marcos Jr. and Senator Amy Marcos, should settle their tax liabilities. That initially totaled 23 billion pesos back then. Marcos Jr. claimed recently that the BIR and the PCGG have agreed to wait on a decision on the case before collecting taxes. But the Presidential Commission on Good Government denied this, saying a BIR decision had been reached in 1997. For News 5, Ryan Ang, We Are One News.
The Finance Department says that the BIR has the main jurisdiction on tax cases, including those involving the Marcos family. In an interview with The Big Story, DOF Assistant Secretary Paula Alvarez said that they are pushing BIR to collect all sources of revenue. Alvarez added that the BIR is the one handling the cases related to taxes.
We are pushing the BIR to collect all means or all sources of revenue. So that means all types of taxes, online taxes, e-sabok, and all other GOCCs that have dividends that we can collect. So we're pressuring all revenue collecting agencies.
One pathologist has named a pink hybrid orchid after presidential candidate and Vice President Leni Robredo. Immunopathologist Raymond Law said that his orchid hybrid is named Rinchole Leo Cattleya Leni Robredo. Law said that it took 7 years for the orchid to pollinate and bloom. The orchid named after Robredo is officially registered at the Royal Horticultural Society of the UK. And we'll be back with more stories after the break. Keep it here on One News. You're still watching When News Now. I'm Riza Diaz. Here are the updates on the ongoing conflict between Russia and Ukraine. A former Russian deputy prime minister who condemned the Ukraine war has quit as chair of a prestigious foundation. This comes after a lawmaker accused him of a national betrayal and demanded his dismissal. Former Deputy Prime Minister R.K. Dvorkovich has become one of Russia's most senior establishment figures to question the country's invasion of Ukraine. United States President Joe Biden warns Chinese leader Xi Jinping of consequences if Beijing backed Russia's invasion of Ukraine. The White House said that China could face trade tariffs or sanctions if it will provide material support to Russia. However, Xi said that sanctions would only trigger serious crisis in global economy and trade. Both Xi and Biden acknowledged that the need to solve the ongoing conflict between Russia and Ukraine through diplomatic means. Russian President Vladimir says that Russia will prevail in Ukraine during a mass rally in Moscow Stadium. Putin justifies his invasion of Ukraine, saying that it was necessary because U.S. was using the country to threaten Russia. However, during his speech, Russian state television suddenly cut away from Putin speaking to show patriotic songs being performed at the end of the event instead. The Kremlin said that it was a technical glitch that interrupted Putin's speech.
The best proof is how our boys are fighting at this special military operation. It is so happened that the beginning of the operation coincided quite accidentally with the birthday on one of our most outstanding.
Actor Keith Thompson is currently detained after allegedly assaulting his girlfriend Ana Halandoni at the hotel in Tagaytay. Jenny Dongon with the story.
Swollen black eyes and a bruised face. This was how actress Ana Halandoni looked like in the photo of herself that she sent to her friends on Thursday night. It came with a cry for help as she alleged that partner actor Keith Thompson will kill her. She claimed that the actor physically assaulted her. The two were staying at a Tagaytay hotel. She pleaded with friends to alert authorities instead of calling her as Thompson was asleep. According to the police, the hotel staff heard a loud commotion in the couple's room.
Mga bandang alas 6 ng umaga, nakatanggap kami ng tawag coming from dial 911. Pumunta kagad yung personnel namin. Positive yung information na mayroon talagang binugbog o sinaktan na babae doon sa loob ng hotel na naka-check-in.
In a statement to authorities, Ana said they were drinking when a misunderstanding ensued.
Nakakaramdam na yung babae ng hindi maayos. Yung pagtawag niya sa friend niya ay poor signal. Kaya umakyat siya doon sa may third level hallway ng hotel. It so happen siguro nakatulog siya doon. Nung makita na siya ng lalaki, binuhat siya, dinala siya sa room nila.
Ano po yung provocation, Chief?
Parang jealous, parang yun ang lumalabas.
The Tagaytay Police Station, Ana's sister Marie angrily detailed the beating.
Sabi niya, sinampal mo na daw siya, sampal. Then sampal, suntok, sampal sa ulo. Kaya yung mukha niya ngayon sobrang namamagat. As in, sobra talaga.
She added that her family will file a case against the actor.
Ayoko na magsalita ng hindi maganda. Sobra talaga. Parang alam mo yun, papatay niya na yung kapatid ko eh. Papunta na dun eh.
Halandoni is currently being treated at the hospital, while Thompson was detained at the Tagaytay detention cell. Cornerstone Kids Label Management said they have yet to receive a formal report. For News 5, Jenny Dongon, We Are One News.
Boracay is returning to its pre-pandemic life as more tourists visit the island. Shaila Francisco with a story.
At around 5 p.m., tons of tourists hang out at the white sand beach of Boracay to watch the eye-catching sunset. Some spend time painting. Others take pictures, while the rest take time swimming.
Bakit sunset nyo napili mag-swimming?
Kasi hindi nakakaitim. Mami-maintain yung gluta. Hindi ka mangingitim. Tsaka maganda mag-selfie, maganda mag-picture.
Nakaka-relax din siyang panoorin.
after capping of a day. Sobrang iba na siya. I was here, sobrang bata ko pa, and the second was 2017. And now it's more family-friendly, family-oriented, more laid back.
This is just the start of the nightlife in Boracay. When night comes, expect a lot of activities to enjoy here. Live bands, fire dance, and non-stop drinking. This as the curfew and liquor ban have been lifted in the island since March.
Na-miss po namin, of course. Super happy po kami, ma'am, na bumalik po yung turista. Kasi yung isla, nabubuhay lang siya sa turista. Yung malaking help po, malaking tulong talaga siya sa amin.
Ngayon, okay na ang namin. Kasi marami naman ang pumupuntang turista dito. Nakakabenta na kami.
Still, authorities advise tourists to observe health protocols. Dancing is still not allowed, but face masks can be removed when doing water activities.
Happy tayo no na nandito talaga sila, pero yun lang kinakailangan talaga rin na they have to be responsible tourists. Yung topmost priority natin sa isla natin is yung health and safety na rin po nila.
Those booking a trip to Boracay should apply for a health declaration card at touristboracay.com. Fully vaccinated individuals need to present a vaccination card, while those partially and not vaccinated need to submit RT-PCR test result taken 72 hours before the date of travel. Shaila Francisco, we are One News.
Let's now take a quick look at today's other top stories. The Energy Department is now expecting big-time diesel and gas price rollbacks next week as global market prices for oil go down. DOE said diesel prices may register a 12 peso per liter rollback, while gas is expected to go down by 6 pesos per liter by next week. Pasig City Vice Mayor Iyo Caruncio Bernardo filed a cyber libel complaint against Mayor Vico Soto. This over Soto's speech back in January, where the incumbent mayor called Bernardo uncooperative and unsupportive of the city's government's programs, policies, and agendas. Now, the Comelec is set to hold its first presidential debate for the 2022 elections later today. All candidates, except for former Senator Bongbong Marcos, are expected to participate in the event. And those are the top stories of the hour. Join us later again at 12 noon as we continue to monitor the day's biggest stories. You can also catch One News on Signal Play app. Register for a free account now at www.signalplay.com and stream One News live anytime, anywhere. I'm Riza Diaz. Mask on, wash hands, and stay safe, Philippines. We are One News.